Okay, we're gonna bring this meeting back to order.
Okay, welcome to the Queen Anne's County Commissioners Meeting. This is a public meeting that is being aired live on our local cable television station, QACTV 7. This media broadcast provides county citizens an opportunity to watch and review our scheduled public meetings. In addition to our live audience this evening, we are providing remote options for citizens to watch and participate in county commissioner meetings. Citizens may watch our meeting live on our website at qac.org/live or on our television channel, Breezeline Channel 7 and High Definition Channel 507. Citizens may also participate by joining the live Zoom meeting by going to qac.org/public comment, and citizens may also email comments to publiccomment@qac.org. Any comment received will be summarized during the press and public comment period on this evening's agenda. We acknowledge your participation, and by attending, you acknowledge that this session is both recorded and aired. Press and public comment will be taken and is limited to 3 minutes per person. If you do care to speak, please sign the sheet on the information table out in the lobby. Comments longer than 3 minutes can be submitted in writing for the Commissioner's review. We will now stand and be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Commission President Jim Moran.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you can remain standing for a moment of silence to all of our servicemen and women around the world. Thank you very much.
Okay, that brings us to the approval of this evening's agenda. So our agenda for today's meeting, May 9th, along with the regular minutes and the closed session minutes from April 25th have been circulated for review. Are there any additions and or corrections?
Make a motion to add one additional desk item to tonight's agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to accept the agenda as amended and minutes as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. So we just held a brief closed session under the General Provisions Article 305B1 to discuss boards and commissions, and Article 305B8 concerning potential litigation. I do believe we have one appointment to make for the Historical Stevensville Arts and Entertainment District.
I move to appoint Dr. Jonathan Van Caudill to fill the vacancy on Historic Stevensville's Arts and Entertainment Advisory Board. This term will expire on July 31st of 2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you, Commissioners. That brings us to our first press and public comment period.
There's nobody signed up.
Nobody signed up?
Yeah, I think the sign sheet was covered, so people might not have saw it.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. We'll
All right.
call them up.
All right, so thank you for taking the time to express your views to the County Commissioners. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. Comments longer than 3 minutes can be submitted in writing. This commission respects your desire and right to convey your message freely. If you come forward, when you come forward, please speak clearly at the standing microphone. State your name, your address, and your topic of interest. And in keeping with the dignity of our office, we ask that all views be expressed in a respectful and civil manner.
So we don't have we had a sign-up list outside, apparently it was covered. Is there anybody here who would like to make a comment? Very good.
Sorry, Bruce.
There you go. Vanna, you did a great job.
Okay, great. Well, we have a full house here this evening, and I believe it is for our first presentation here. We're going to go a little out of order. We're going to call up Miss Julie Killey for the opioid education, and she's our opioid education and prevention coordinator for the 2023 opioid awareness poster winners, high school theater commercial competition winner, and the 2022-2023 Queen Anne's County drug-free student ambassadors.
They're in the hallway. Yeah. Somebody's got to. There they come.
All right. There she is. All right. Okay.
Hey, Warren. Billy, you come up. Yeah,
You're all set.
you're up. Batter up. Yep.
Well, welcome. We just wanted to say to start with, thanks to all you commissioners, because without your cooperation, our working together so closely with the public schools and the DFC wouldn't exist to this degree. And also, thanks very much for allowing us to celebrate the students' achievements here. And I think it means a lot to the kids and to the parents. And so our first group today is the 2023 QAC Gold Awareness Poster Contest. These students were invited to participate in the countywide poster contest. They were tasked with using creativity to share messages about the dangers of substance abuse and use. We had 87 entries this year. There were 7 winners, 1 from each public school and high school, and 1 from the Queen Anne's County private schools and homeschool students. We'd also like to call up and welcome Mr. Jim Roy and Bob Campbell to the front. I also wanted to say, to thank them for their generous donations, which made the poster contest and the commercial contest possible. But I also wanted to add, even though it's not in my little typed script here, Jim quietly helps a lot of groups and a lot of people in Queen Anne's County, very quietly but very effectively. And Bob Campbell and his wife are both longtime beloved teachers in Queen Anne's County, and they now have the largest driving school in the area, and they're still giving back after a career in teaching. So thank them both.
Thank you, Jim.
Whoa.
Well,
look at
well,
this.
well.
We're underdressed.
Wow.
The newspaper's here.
Wow. Yeah. There's an Elks Gala somewhere.
We need some music for that.
Well, for anybody that's here in the public that doesn't know about this poster contest, it's been going on, this is the 4th year, Warren? Do you know?
Yes.
4th year. And they're out here, you see them hanging on the walls out here in our lobby, and you also see them at the Vincent Building, and we rotate those around. I think the message about this addiction, nobody says it better than our own students.
I think Julie's going to read the names, and
Yep.
we have them in businesses and in the schools because kids read the kids' messages.
Right. Bruce, she might need a mic. Yep. There you go.
Congratulate all of our winners this year. So these are the 2023 poster contest winners. And we have Andrew Redmond, 11th grade from Queen Anne's County High School. Lexus Harris, 11th grade from Kent Island High School. Grace Gorley, 7th grade, Stevensville Middle School. Quinn Francisconi, 6th grade, Centerville Middle School. Ariel Murray, 8th grade, Sudlersville Middle School. Kai Moore, 8th grade, Mattapique Middle School. And Logan Killey, 10th grade, the Gunston School. Congratulations.
Put that on Bruce.
Yeah. This is a lull for emphasis. Are you passing out cards?
Oh, yeah, everything is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So people can see this, right?
And Jim Roy's going to start down on the left. And he's going to award the $300 Amazon gift cards to each of the winners from the from the schools.
Nice.
Good job.
We'll take it.
You'll get it.
Yeah.
Campbell's here. You gonna give him challenge points or what? Yeah. We did last year.
All the way to the end, all right? And Logan Killy is being presented free driver's ed course from the Campbell's Driving School.
You want to get a picture with us
Some
standing here
pictures,
behind him?
yes.
So on behalf of the Queens County Commissioners, these are Queens County Challenge Coins presented to you guys. Appreciation for your efforts. If you get pulled over, present this to the sheriff. Tell him that Jim Moran said it was okay.
My man. Julie, you done? Are you?
No.
You done? You done? You want a picture with us behind them all? Yeah, sure. Sure, all right, let's.
We wanna go down there and stand up here, Jim?
There's 5 groups.
Beth, can you get it? You want us back here?
There's 5 groups.
Where do you want us to stand?
Yeah, stand behind them?
Up here, Jim, together?
Yeah.
Right on.
Right on.
We have you guys move one person over. Everybody in the first 2 rows. This before.
Well,
Wait, Beth's doing it. You done, Beth, or you good? No?
Yeah, let me get one more, the sun was in. I'm good.
It's a great shot.
Yeah, it is.
That's a great shot.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you all. Okay, the second group tonight is the 2023 High School Theater Commercial Competition winner, and that goes to the Gunston School. We're rounding up the reps from Gunston School, apparently.
Who's the drummer?
The video of the commercial will be played on QAC TV repeatedly.
So as Warren had mentioned already, the Gunston School is the 2023 high school.
Wait a minute, Julie.
Sorry. As Mr. Wright had already mentioned, Gunston School has won the 2023 High School Theater Commercial Competition. So congratulations to the Gunston School. With us this evening, we have Maggie Porciello, Ben Gilbert, Dr. Ryan Asprion, which is the Performing Arts Department Chair, and Assistant Head of the Gunston School, Christy Gravis. Thank you for coming to this evening.
Jim is presenting.
And Jim Roy is going to present them with a $500 check to use for their theater club.
There you go. Hey, we gotta play the commercial.
It's next.
So not to be outdone by Jim Roy. This is for participation. Thank you very much. We got to play drums. Is that you?
Well, thank you.
Wrong business, man.
There you go. She looks like she's 3 feet taller in that video.
I know. Well,
Thank you, guys. Our third group is the founding.
Wait a minute.
All right, you're up,
The
brother.
group coming in is the founding drug-free student ambassadors. Those students are the founding ambassadors for the program. Collectively, these 10 students have completed 383 service hours from September the 22nd to May 2023. They have supported QAC DFC events. They've helped get QAC Goes Purple messages out, and they've completed a large group project, which was our first annual Christmas parade float. The students are receiving certificates and letters from the Queen Anne's County Commissioners. They're also receiving a month student pass at the YMCA. And I just wanted to add that I had forgotten how much fun it is to work with kids on a float. And when we went purple here in Centerville, they, I don't know if any of you noticed, they almost took the whole thing over with all their ideas that they brought. And their ideas are the kinds that other kids listen to, so we're blessed to have them as the opening round. And individually, we think they all make a difference. And let's don't forget, they all have really supportive parents who get them there and pick them up.
All right, so tonight we're presenting Maggie Porciello from the Gunston School, who completed 74 hours of service. Logan Killey, Gunston School, 58.25 hours of service. Emma Sharps, Gunston School, 39 hours of service. Mia Walker, Gunston School, 37 hours. Quinn Francisconi from CMS, she's our first middle school ambassador. She completed 35.75 hours. Anna Jensen, Ken Island High School, 35 hours. Claudia Jensen, Ken Island High School, 32.25 hours. Samuel Mora, Queen Anne's County High School, 29.5 hours. Daniel Mora, Queen Anne's County High School, 25.5 hours. And unable to attend is Maya Bernard, Ken Island High School, 16.5 hours. Anna, will you step forward, please?
Is it Anna? Oh, Anna is, can I introduce Anna now? Yes. Special recognition goes to our graduating senior, Anna Jensen. We can't thank her enough for her dedication to the program during her senior year. We wish her only the best as she moves forward in her studies, as she leads to St. Louis University in Madrid, and then back to the University of Maryland. Dr. We have Jim and Dr. Salih. There we go.
Because we have more ambassadors. Sorry, go back one.
Actually, if they want to come around in the front, that way to squeeze them in.
Are we supposed to, what are we doing?
I don't know.
It appears I know we're gonna,
Jack, just sit there till you're told what to do.
it's like being home.
Okay, our Fourth group coming in are the new QAC drug-free student ambassadors. Before I go on, though, I wanted to thank our superintendent for attending right over there. These students have requested to be ambassadors or were referred to the program. Collectively, they have completed 83 service hours during March and April of 2023. We welcome them to the ambassador program and look forward to the great things that they do in the future. I think they're receiving letters and certificates from the commissioners.
This evening, we're recognizing Tyler Sanker, CMS, 13.5 hours. Leah Rhodes, CMS, 9.75 hours. Ebony Patrick, Sudlersville Middle School, 8.75 hours. Jacob Carhart, Queen Anne's County High School, 8.75 hours. Madeline Eskew, Kent Island High School, 8.5 hours. Avery Mortimer, Queen Anne's County High School, 8.25 hours. Chloe Kirchner, CMS, 6.75 hours. Kylie McPhee, Kent Island High School, 6.5 hours. Margaret Burton, Sudlersville Middle School, 6 hours. Maria Torres, Sudlersville Middle School, 6 hours.
We're gonna need to order more of those little challenges. Getting low back there, I think, aren't we?
No, challenges, we do have enough.
Yeah.
All by design.
Any left?
Margie says get rid of them.
Should I throw it on this thing?
Perfect.
I just wanted to add for all the student ambassadors, they really showcase remarkable leadership and commitment. They effectively raise awareness about the dangers of opioids while promoting substance-free living among their peers and in the community. Their dedication to personal growth and unwavering resolve to share their beliefs make them truly deserving of these recognitions. There was a total of 20 drug-free student ambassadors. They completed 466 service hours during the 22-23 school year, and we really look forward to working with them as they grow as ambassadors while they serve the community and act as role models for the peers. I just also wanted to add that they are a fun group and great to be around. Julie?
So each ambassador is also receiving a token that symbolizes the work that they do. Each ambassador is also receiving a token that symbolizes the work that they do. And I'm just going to have Dr. Salines come forward and read the poem that goes with that.
Yes, our students do make a profound difference. Once upon a time, there was a wise man walking on the beach. He looked down the beach and saw a human figure moving like a dancer. He smiled to himself and thought of someone who would dance to the day, and so he walked faster to catch up. As he got closer, he noticed that the figure was that of a young man, and that what he was doing was not dancing at all. The young man was reaching down to the shore, picking up small objects and throwing them into the ocean. He came closer still and called out, "Good morning. May I ask what you are doing?" The young man paused, looked up and replied, "Throwing starfish into the ocean." "I must ask then, why are you throwing starfish into the ocean?" To this, the young man replied, "The sun is up and the tide is going out. If I don't throw them in, they'll die. Upon hearing this, the wise man commented, "But young man, do you not realize that there are miles and miles of beach, and there are starfish along every mile? You can't possibly make a difference." At this, the young man bent down, picked up yet another starfish, and threw it into the ocean. And as it met the water, he said, "It made a difference for that one." And our students do make a difference, and thank you for your leadership with our ambassadors.
Hey, and the last group, like any other organization, you have to have, as we say, volunteers that have skills. And so if the following would please come forth: Kathy Wright, Carol Fresconi, I think she's unable to attend, Nuria Porras Jensen, Andrea Poriello. If you guys will come forward, please. No hugs, that's not in the script. Well, and you guys know as well as anyone, without the help of the volunteers, the program wouldn't have been able to accomplish so many events and activities, wouldn't have been nearly as much fun. Their willingness to step up and lend a hand with all kinds of hours is really appreciated, and it makes all the difference. Thank you so much for your support. And commissioners, thank you guys very much for your support.
Thank you. Thanks, Ron.
This concludes the award ceremony. I'll join us out front. We're also going to do some more. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
You gotta get like a whole bunch more coins made.
Yeah.
Oh, Margie says, no worries, we're there.
That's the last time, right? Can you dump them all?
I think I just got rid of like 20.
Dude.
It was quite a great group this evening,
Yeah.
tonight.
No.
Good attendance, great new posters, too.
And the numbers are growing. So
Yes, they are.
Good.
Good to see. Okay, Commissioners, our next presentation is from Kathy Willis, Director of Community Services. It's her Community Services update, and I believe they also have an Older Americans Month proclamation to share. So the presentation is up on the screen,
Bruce.
and it's also in tab number 6, item number 1 in your books as well. So Director Willis, and we have Mike Clark here as well.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
And Margie. We'd like to start this evening by recognizing every year in May, we celebrate Older Americans Month. And this year, the theme is Aging Unbound, which explores the diversity in each adult's unique aging experience. We recognize the benefits of helping elderly folks in the community to maintain engagement and independence. This was established in 1963. Approximately 17 million Americans had reached their 65th birthday. The number climbed to nearly 56 million in 2020, and it's projected to reach 80.8 million by 2040, according to American Community Living Survey for Older Americans. So
That's age 65?
yes.
That's you, Phil.
So with that, I'd like to take the opportunity now, if you would share our proclamation for the month to recognize that.
All righty, Proclamation 23-19. Whereas the 2023 theme for Older Americans Month is Aging Unbound, which offers an opportunity to explore diverse aging experiences and discuss how communities can combat stereotypes. Join us in promoting flexible thinking about aging and how we all benefit when older adults remain engaged, independent, and included. And whereas Queen Anne's County includes a growing number of older Americans who contribute their time, wisdom, and experience to our community. And whereas Queen Anne's County will benefit when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds have the opportunity to participate and live independently. And whereas Queen Anne's County recognizes the need to create a community that offers the services and supports older adults may need to make choices about how they age. And whereas Queen Anne's County can work to build an even better community for our older residents by not limiting our thinking about aging, exploring and combating stereotypes, emphasizing the many positive aspects of aging, inspiring older adults to push past traditional boundaries, embracing our community's diversity. Whereas in honor of Older Americans Month, Queen Anne's County Area Agency on Aging will host the annual Senior Summit on Friday, May 19th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 4-H Park in Centerville. And now, therefore, we, the County Commissioners of Queen Anne's County, do hereby proclaim May 2023 to be Older Americans Month. We urge every resident to celebrate our older citizens, help to create an inclusive society, and accept the challenge of flexible thinking around aging. Signed, the Queen Anne's County Commissioners.
Thank you very much. And I will apologize that Ann Sparks couldn't be here with us tonight. This is one of her favorite presentations, but she's sailing the seas right now and enjoying herself prior to the Older Americans Month and Senior Summit coming up. So with that in mind, Mike and I are here to present, but I have my other administrators here with me. I'd like to recognize Stephen Palmer, the Transit Administrator, Stacy Voorhees, the Senior Center Administrator, and Ann Van Benschoten, the Community Care Administrator. So with the next presentation that we have, everybody had a hand in this, looking at an overview of what we have been doing in the Department of Community Services. And to start with the first slide in the program, we have Show Me the Money. We had a lot of fun with this. So in light of the declaration coming to an end this Thursday on May 11th, we decided to pull together all of our funding from the Department of Community Services as a whole that we've received from various grants related to COVID, whether they were CARES grants, CRISA, ARPA money, what else? There's so many acronyms. We've learned so many things and so many new acronyms that it's hard to keep track of. But as a whole, the department brought in over $5 million in those additional funding categories. Some of those saved county funds, local funds, we matched them with that. Many increased services, and we provide a lot of additional services to individuals than we had in the past. So we're coming to the end of that, still trying to spend out a few little things, but it's been quite amazing over those last 3 years to do all of this, and benefiting folks that may otherwise not have been benefited. So the next slide is Senior Centers Bounce Back. This one's exciting. And Stacy had all of the information for this to show us that the senior center's attendance has finally reached 96% of the pre-pandemic rate. This is very exciting because since the pandemic, we had very low participation in the senior centers once they reopened, and it seemed to be a slow progress to get them back to normal. So I'd say they're there now. And the congregate meal program, the meal that they have in the senior centers on a daily basis, has seen a 29% increase also. And exciting news coming soon will be touchscreen sign-in systems for the first time ever in our centers, and that is thanks to ARPA grant funding that we have been working on, and also a cafe-style Wi-Fi, which we have had challenges in all of our senior centers with Wi-Fi access, and we did that with the ARPA funding as well, joint along with some ARPA funding with the Transportation Administration, hopefully getting Wi-Fi all over the place. So that's very exciting for us. The next slide shows, as we talked about in the last time we were here, is the Ride for Free in 23 is going fantastic. We've seen an overall increase in just the first 3 months of the year by 22%, 29%. We have a lot of people getting rides to work now, which is more than we had had in the past. We have a very large constituency of riders going to dialysis, which is extremely important, and having no cost for that makes a big difference. The next section is a wonderful laptop program, thanks to our county administrator, Todd Mon, who shared over with Mike and said, hey, can we make this work? So, of course, Mike can make it work. So this is his program, and the fun part is storing 1,000 of 2,000 yet to give laptops in a building that's being renovated. So, Mike, it's all you.
Yep, Kathy said we do currently have 1,000 laptops sitting in our offices. They've moved around a little bit with renovations, but as of May 22nd, with the help, we hope to start the PR campaign and start planning to distribute the laptops by June 1. Anybody who we've got 2,000 to give out completely free. Eventually, we're going to have a website called QACFreeLaptop.com where people can go there and get questions about and get answers about that. They can also fill out an application for it. We're also going to have a call-in line where people can call. And then lastly, there's going to be a paper application, the old-fashioned paper. And this has been a great partnership with, just because it's through the local management board, this is for all citizens of Queen Anne's County, senior citizens on down to students. And it's a great partnership with the Area Agency on Aging, who is handling the phone calls with us through their call line. And then the library, who's been wonderful also, and they're going to distribute most of the laptops and make the connection after we get the application. It's supposed to be for anybody at 200% or more of the federal poverty line that gets a laptop, but there's also other ways that a person could be eligible, including if they're a member of food stamps, SNAP, Medicaid, if they get women, infants, and children, WIC money, supplemental security. If they're in a federal public housing development, they're eligible for a laptop. Veterans, pension, and survivor benefits are eligible. School lunch program, folks in that are eligible. And any folks in the federal Pell Grant are going to be eligible. So those are all ways that we hope to distribute the laptops out and make them eligible.
What a great program.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that if a senior is just on Social Security, they don't have a pension, that most of them would probably qualify.
Sure, depending on their.
Fair enough?
Yes. It's a safe assumption. If you're not sure, just call, and we'll see if we can find a way to make them fit.
Well, thank you, Mike. Yes, that's very exciting, and we're hoping the other 1,000 don't arrive for a little while, so, before we get the first 1,000 out. You don't realize how much room that takes.
Yeah, we'll find some storage space for you. No worries.
you.
Yeah.
Hold you to that.
Todd's office.
Well, they have to be in
Todd's office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His little
was
office
his idea.
outside of his office, right. So just some upcoming events to end with. Of course, we've spoken about the Senior Summit, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention Spirit Week, which was Annie's favorite, and now it's Stacy's favorite, so that starts next week. Stacy has an exciting program coming up, the Senior Sports Summit, starting June 3rd through the 9th. That we had the last time we had pre-2019. And this year it's going to be much larger and has a lot of pickleball and a lot of other programs associated. So look for more information to come about that. Mid-July, they are doing Stuff a Bus. And that's a compilation of Mike and Steve that came up with this, right, for the Children's Council. So we're looking forward to that. In October, God willing, we're going to open the YMCA and Active Aging Center, and we are very excited. We are looking forward to the new budget year, looking at staffing the Active Aging Center portion of it, and I'm currently adding all of that into my 4-year state plan, which is due in a couple of weeks, because it's looking at, we're working towards what's the next 4 years going to hold for us, and that new senior center portion will be the new part we've had in all of my history here. This is the first one we're adding in the 30 years that I've been here. So I'm very excited that we will be up to 4.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
What's the Senior Sports Summit?
Senior Sports Summit.
Senior Sports Summit.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
it, center.
Sorry. It's Phil's fault.
The Senior Sports Summit is something that we tried once before in 2019, pre-pandemic, that through the Senior Center Operating Funds grant that we received from the state, we're able to provide again. It's a week-long compilation of events that culminates in an awards party at the end. The events include a 1-mile walk, bocce ball, jigsaw puzzle competitions, dance competitions, pickleball, which is huge, storytelling, cornhole, free throw, shuffleboard, ladder ball, and all these events are done all throughout the county, so all 3 senior centers are involved, as well as we've partnered with The Edge for hosting some of these events, as well as Parks and Recreation. We're partnering with them to help organize the pickleball tournaments and utilize the pickleball courts that are at Mowbray Park and Graysonville Park. So it's a week-long
A great idea.
opportunity for a lot of fun.
Now,
Fitness.
so do you have to be 65?
Not 65, 55 and over to participate.
There you go, brother.
You fellas are in luck.
So it's a big, exciting event, a lot to do, right on the tail of the Senior Summit. So Stacy's had quite a challenge this year, but it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. We're looking forward to it.
Very good.
Thank you. And then finally, coming in November is Make a Difference Day, which I don't think have we missed one?
Nope.
We still had it all the way through, the pandemic too. So that's very exciting. And it'll be held at
Sudlersville Middle School
again.
tentatively, but that's the plan, yes.
Correct. Okay. And then finally, I just want to, I see Alan over in the corner. I want to thank Department of Public Works. They have been tremendous to the Kramer Center as of recently, and he would be surprised. He should come visit and see what we've done. The program has come up for us to renovate, basically just paint and carpet, but his talented crew have added a few extra things in there, and we've thrown up an office or two here or there, and it's very exciting for the staff to come through and see these walls put up. But that's part of the planning. If it's been 30 years since we've been renovated, now's the time to move forward, because with the growth in the senior population, the services that we're doing in housing and LMB, we need more space. We need more people to serve the people that need us. So we're trying to cover every square inch of that building and get out the most we can from it. So we just want to let the public know also that the Kramer Center is going to be a little challenging, but we'll always have access. We'll make sure folks can get in and out and get to their appointments, and staff might be scattered around the county for a little while because our relocation plan is in my dining room there with like up to 16 people in the room.
When do you think the project will be complete?
Well, I take what they estimate and then I add to it, so I would say hopefully by the end of the calendar year.
Okay.
We're doing 4 phases, so we're kind of on phase 1. We're at the beginning of phase 1, so I think it's going well. They're a great group. IT,
With the addition of the YMCA and the senior component there helps out as
that's
well.
programming, yeah. So we're, and fortunately, because we have our other 2 senior centers, we're able to co-locate some staff there temporarily, so we don't have so many people in the dining room trying to function on a daily basis. So it should be a challenge. Mike and I are going to be stuck in the dining room together, so we'll see how that goes. But IT has been wonderful too. It's giving us an opportunity to streamline a few things, getting a new phone system and making it easier. One of the goals is to get rid of the automated answering system, which we don't really care for when we have people in tremendous need calling and having to listen and hit this button and hit that button, and we're going back to the old days and having our person answer the immediate line that comes in. So I'm very excited about that.
Very cool.
So,
Excellent.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Good job, you guys.
Yeah,
And
as always.
thank you
guys.
very much.
with that ride for 3 in 23, you're a busy guy.
Thank you all. Great presentation.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioners, our next presentation is for Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Month. We have a proclamation. So I'd ask Mr. Kenneth Eaton, the Executive Director of the ABATE of Maryland Incorporated, to come up, and I think he
Gentlemen,
has
come
a
up.
guest. Come on up, gentlemen, please. All right. Now it's springtime when it's about motorcycles and boats coming up next after this. So that's great. Great news.
So I'll read the proclamation, then you can tell us a little bit about the program. Thank you. Proclamation 23-22, whereas safety is our highest priority for the streets and roadways of our county, and whereas Queen Anne's County is proud to be a supporter of motorcycle safety, education, and awareness, and whereas motorcycles are a common and economical means of transportation that reduces fuel consumption and road wear and contributes to significant ways to the relief of traffic and parking congestion. And whereas it is especially meaningful that the citizens of our county and state be aware of motorcycles on the roadways and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety. And whereas the members of the Midshore chapter of ABATE of Maryland Incorporated continually promote motorcycle safety education and awareness to the general public in our county and state. And whereas all roadway users should unite in the safe sharing of roads in Queen Anne's County and throughout Maryland. And now, therefore, the Queen Anne's County Commissioners proclaim the month of May 2023 be known as Motorcycle Safety and Awareness Month in Queen Anne's County, and that we encourage all motorists and citizens to join together in an effort to improve safety and awareness on our roadways. Okay, so the first question is ABATE. Is an acronym
Yes, it is.
for?
You'll have to remember we were organized in 1974. So it is a brotherhood against totalitarian enactments.
Say that again?
A brotherhood against totalitarian enactments.
Wow. Okay.
We are a motorcycle rights organization. We promote safety education and training among motorcyclists. As I got introduced, I'm the executive director for the state. I also live here in Queen Anne's County. And when I took the directorship position, I decided that it was time for me to push on people, and I decided I couldn't push on people if I didn't get a proclamation in my own county.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
So our chapter here, the Midshore chapter, covers Caroline, Dorchester, Queen Anne's, and Talbot. So you guys were able to make us a quadfecta. We were able to get all 4 counties in the Midshore, make a proclamation.
Very good.
The governor mailed his in. So I appreciate you having us here. Like I said, we've been doing this since 1974. We just spent a very grueling 90 days in Annapolis supporting, opposing, and tracking legislation. It was an interesting year, to say the least.
So for our TV audience, if you could make one announcement of something that, to you guys that ride, and I know that our county administrator rides himself, one message to our TV audience about public safety as far as being aware of motorcycles on the road.
I would like all motorists and motorcyclists to be aware of where they are on the road, what they're doing on the road, and what's going on. Our biggest problem is people turning left in front of us. And stopping at stop signs and red lights and somebody hitting us from behind. So really, I know everybody says it's hard to see us. It's not that hard. You just got to look up.
Plus, blow your grass clippings back off the road.
That's
after
what
you
I
cut
was
the
going to
grass.
say.
That's, I'm going to come back.
So grass clippings.
That's the one I see.
I'm going to come back. We have tried for several years with the District 36 and 37 representatives to get a grass clippings bill in the state. And we have met resistance for some reason, and I haven't figured out why.
That's interesting, because the two of those delegates in 36th District both ride.
One sponsored it.
But it's just.
Steve sponsored it.
But I mean, just if you think about it,
Laziness.
if you're cutting your grass, folks, blow the clippings back onto your lawn and not onto the road.
Correct.
Because it makes it
doesn't-
very slippery and dangerous for people riding motorcycles, bicycles. It's just,
It doesn't seem like much, but when you blow that grass out onto the road, it also blows whatever's out there in the ditch and on the side of the road.
Right.
Glass, chopped up cans,
Right.
wire, along with the grass. And the grass, once it gets wet from dew or what have you the next day,
Slippery.
is pretty slippery, and it causes a lot of accidents. And I'd really like to do something in Queen Anne's County, getting it in the code for changing the law about
My
yard
understanding
debris, grass.
is it is in the code.
You know, there seems to be a lot of discussion about that, and I'd be willing to talk to somebody to find out where it is in the code.
Well, I mean, I've been told by someone, and I can't remember who, within the last 3 or 4 years, that in Queen Anne's County, you're supposed to blow your clippings off the road if you deposit them there. So,
If that's the case,
I
I'd
don't
be
know for sure, but-
absolutely thrilled.
well,
I mean, I'm
maybe,
conscious of it because my
Yeah.
brother-in-law rides, and so he's. one of the
maybe
ones that
an
told me
awareness
that.
campaign. Maybe
Well,
we
that's-
could work
that's
collaboratively
why
on
This
an
is
awareness
actually a
campaign.
national campaign for motorcycle safety awareness, but we're also work with other states about the grass clipping. There is a very strange named Facebook page called Bikers Against Grass.
See, I told you.
And there's different states that have regulations banning it, and we'll fine you for it. We're not really looking to send anybody to jail. We just want them to not.
Common courtesy.
Yeah. Very good.
We certainly appreciate the county recognizing May as Motorcycle Safety
And now,
Awareness Month.
this is your name,
This is Mark
please?
Kersner.
I'm Mark Kersner. I'm the Queen Anne's County representative.
Gotcha.
For Mid-Shore chapter.
Very good. Very good. Well, obviously keep up the great work. We want to see our county administrator here for every meeting.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your service.
Ride safe.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, gentlemen. Okay. All right, next up, Commissioners, we have Proclamation 2324. This is Safe Boating Week proclamation. We have several folks here tonight. We have Petty Officer First Class Brian Gooch, United States Coast Guard, and Edward Burke, U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, and is Reed Carey, U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. I'm not sure.
Ed, unfortunately, can't make it.
Okay, I wasn't sure he was.
He had a run-in with some poison ivy.
Okay, anyway, take it away, gentlemen.
Well, thank you very much for having us here again this year. Sorry, do you want to read the proclamation first, or should we go ahead?
You started, go ahead.
Yep, thanks very much for having us again. It's again springtime, so we're.
Yeah, this is the time.
This is the time for Safe Boating Week. Recreational boating, as you all know, is a very popular activity for 100 million Americans, and Queen Anne's County has some fantastic places for boating, from Eastern Bay up through Kent Island, Kent Narrows. But although recreational boating is generally a safe activity, there are risks. Boating safety improved between 2020 and 2021. The fatality rate, I'm happy to say, has declined by 14.2%, and the overall number of accidents declined by 15.7%. But there were still, in spite of that, there were still 4,400 boating accidents, over 4,400 boating accidents in 2021, the most recent year for which we have the numbers. And there were 658 fatalities. Here in Maryland in 2021, there were 138 boating accidents and 6 fatalities in 2021, and a number more in 2022. So we want to emphasize that safe boating requires preparation and awareness. For example, people should stay sober while boating. Alcohol use is the leading contributing factor to fatal boating accidents. People should also wear life jackets. 81% of fatal boating accidents, the victim drowned. In 83% of those cases, the person was not wearing a life jacket. So simply by wearing a life jacket, we can avoid a whole lot of boating fatalities each year. And finally, attending a safe boating course offered by the Coast Guard Auxiliary or by the power squadrons or by state organizations is very important. 75% of deaths occurred on boats where the operator had not received safe boating education. So we want to emphasize that too as something very important. Safe Boating Week has been observed nationally since 1958, and since 1995, it's been the week before Memorial Day weekend, just as people get their boats in the water and ready to go. So we want to remind everyone again this week in Queen Anne's County and across the Eastern Shore and across Maryland that it's important to be responsible and safe while boating. Coast Guard and the DNR will do its part to keep us all safe on the water. And we want to thank you guys for recognizing Safe Boating Week again in Queen Anne's County this year.
Awesome.
There's a lot of boats.
How often do
Operators.
you have the class, the safe boating class, just for the public's?
We've offered, so far this spring, we've taught the safe boating class twice, once at Chesapeake College and once down in Dorchester County. And I think we don't have anything on the calendar right now, but we're trying to get as many done as possible.
Is there a place that people can go, a website that people can go to get some information about future classes that'll be available?
Yes, you can go to the website for our auxiliary facility, which is facility 2103 in Easton. There's information about our safe boating classes, the other things we do, vessel examinations, safe boating checks, that kind of thing. You can also visit the auxiliary website, which is cgaux.org.
Okay, thank you.
And I got the proclamation here. Proclamation 2324. Whereas many residents of and visitors to Queen Anne's County enjoy recreational boating, including fishing, hunting, sailing, canoeing, and kayaking. And whereas each year an average of 650 people die in boating-related accidents in the United States, and 75% of these deaths are caused by drowning. And whereas the vast majority of these accidents are caused by human error or poor judgment, and not by the boat, equipment, or environmental factors. And whereas a significant number of boaters who lose their lives by drowning each year would be alive today had they worn their life jackets. And whereas most boating fatalities involve boats whose operators do not have proper boating safety education. And whereas Queen Anne's County recognizes the year-round efforts of the United States Coast Guard and the Maryland Department of Natural Resources in saving lives and protecting us on the water. And whereas Queen Anne's County recognizes the volunteer efforts of Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 2103 in Easton and Coast Guard Auxiliary flotillas throughout Maryland in promoting safe boating education and practices through classroom instruction, vessel examinations, and on-the-water patrols. And whereas in 1958, President Dwight D. Eisenhower established National Safe Boating Week, and whereas in 1995, the date for National Safe Boating Week was changed to the full week before Memorial Day weekend each year. And now, therefore, we, the County Commissioners of Queen Anne's County, do hereby proclaim the week of May 20th through 26th as Safe Boating Week in Queen Anne's County and urge all those who boat to practice safe boating habits, avoid using alcohol or drugs when operating a boat, and always wear a life jacket while boating.
Here we go.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your service.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for your service.
Good to see you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Commissioners, that concludes our presentations for this evening. We have, we can move into our action items for this evening. We have 3 on the agenda and 1 desk item. So first up, we have the Department of Public Works. And if Mr. Quimby, Director Quimby wants to come up, the first item, and this is in tab number 2, item 1, page 1, we have the Main Street Westchester Water Main construction bid. So could I get a motion on that, and then we can review?
I move to award the bid of the Main Street Westchester Water Main to ECM Incorporated in the amount of $1,140,825, and also authorize the Director of Public Works to execute the agreement once any necessary submittals are in place.
Second. All righty, a motion and a second. Discussion. Alan, why don't you give us a quick, for the public.
Sure. This project will extend an 8-inch water main from the intersection of what I call Main Street South and Castle Marita Road west to the intersection of Main Street and Shopping Center Road, serving those commercial properties along the way. We'll say one thing about inflation. You see, Bramble got the second bid at $1.3 million. They did an almost identical job for us in 2019. I mean, identical. And their price is twice what it was in 2019.
Wow.
It's neither here nor there, but I mean, almost exactly
And they don't ever
twice.
go back. They don't ever go down.
Huh?
They don't ever go down.
No, they don't
Never
go
goes
down,
back.
but I figured it'd be $1 million, but that was before the night work happened, as you'll see. SHA does require night work, which would be Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. due to traffic concerns. We'll try to put up some message boards that alert the people once we get a little closer to tearing up the road. And we have worked with ECM before once, so we are familiar with them to some degree.
So this is a grant from the American Rescue Plan?
That's the funding source, yes.
How long do we, I'm just looking at the date here. So the bidding opened May 1st?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's the opening of the bid.
That's when they.
That's when they open the physical bids. And
Yeah.
When was the RFP sent
People
out?
could bid on it.
No, they get them, they open them.
The RFP's further back.
Yeah, right. No,
That's the
we
bid
advertised, I don't remember the date, but it was like 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And the bidding process is what, 3 months?
No,
Depending
in
on
this
the
case, it was like 6 weeks. It's a very simple job. Just
So they have the
expensive.
information for 6 weeks, and they have a deadline to get the bids in by a certain date, which was May 1st. They open them all at the same time, and this is the order in which they fall out at.
Do we ever have a longer bid process? I mean,
Depending on the job, sir.
Barclay was what, 3 months?
I think if we were like bidding the detention center renovation, it would be, I don't know, about 3 months, but definitely longer than 2 months.
Yeah.
It all depends on the complexity of the job. Plus, there was a rush on this job.
I've done huge high rises. It's a 8-week
Yeah.
bid window. That's it. You don't have much more than that. Because it goes out on Maryland Marketplace. If you're tracking the bidding websites, you're getting the notifications as soon as they hit the site. So if you're in the contracting business, you know it's there and you're.
Yeah, and they got people who are, that's their
right.
job.
And that's all they do is look at it. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
How does the county recoup some of this money? And what I mean by that is, I know in the past that when we ran water lines, we had people, organizations, businesses, developers pay for that.
Correct.
And this time, we're not, we're getting ahead of the curve, thank you. But how do you, I'm just wondering, because I know a couple of them have said they're willing to.
I don't know of any mechanism, I mean, they can certainly donate money to the county, but I don't know of any mechanism where we could bill selective people, or I just don't know how to do that, honestly.
Okay.
Well, it's standard hookup fee though, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we still have all the connection fees and hookup fees, that all the
absolutely.
connections will have to be made along that line, so that'll be.
But is that a number that we can, the county can adjust? And
No.
No, you got it set already, so you can't gouge them just because you're.
well, I mean, it was, okay.
Yeah.
I guess there was an interest for some of them, the willing to kick in versus going
Well, they
with a
can.
different type of fire suppression.
Nothing stopping them.
Yeah,
But I can't go to them with my hand out.
okay. I can, so, all right. And with being ARPA money, is that, we're gonna just write that off? We're not gonna try and recoup that through, the water service?
Well, they'll pay the allocation fees like normal, but no, you're not going to recoup it,
Okay,
other than economic development over the
Okay.
years, perhaps.
yeah. Any other discussion? All righty, seeing none, we're moving to award the bid for the Main Street Westchester Water Main to ECM Incorporated in the amount of $1,140,825, and also authorize the Director of Public Works to execute the agreement once any necessary submittals are in place. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. The next item, item number 2, on page 2, tab 2. This is the FY24 sewerage and water rate increase memorandum, and as you recall, back in 2011, the commission adopted resolutions that capped the annual escalator for water and sewer rates at 6.5% for sewer, 5.5% for water, for all sub-districts with the exception of the Southern Kent Island sub-district, unless the county commissioners by resolution or by motion approve a lesser percentage for the rate increase. And this year we included 2.5% increase in the FY24 sanitary district budget.
I'll make the motion, because I'm the only one that's on it. I move to set the annual sewer and water operations and maintenance rate escalator for all sanitary district rate schedules for the fiscal year 24 budget year at 2.5%, with the exception of Southern Kent Island Subdistrict, which shall see no increase in rates.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
So we waived this last year, didn't we?
That's right.
We made a motion to just leave it
That's right. Yep.
flat, okay.
No increase last year.
But right now with the cost rising, I mean, you just saw it on
Oh,
what the
yeah.
project's gonna cost. There's
Oh,
no
I
way we
agree.
can continue to do that with
I
an
agree.
enterprise zone.
It's a lot easier doing it this way. When I first went to the sanitary district in 90, well, it's 96, but 97, we had to raise rates 35%. That's not fun.
Because it sat for so many years stagnant.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get behind, so it costs more money to catch up than it does to.
To maintain.
Well, I'd like to look at next year or the year after not raising it, if that's possible. But we got to look at the numbers.
What we
now.
did last year, we didn't raise it. We went 0. But what you gotta remember, Patrick, is the problem is this is an enterprise zone, so if they go in the red, then we have to take it out of general fund. So this has to maintain, it's user funded, so it has to maintain itself at a 0 balance. So
Is there a surplus in it now?
Probably in O&M, because we haven't had any severe storms or and been unable to buy equipment.
Knock on wood.
knock on wood on that one.
Yeah. It's nice to have a cushion and some reserves there just in case.
Because you get a broken water main, that's all out of pocket
Yeah.
at that point, so.
Some breaks we pay for it. I mean, we don't care if there's money in the budget or not. We worry about that later.
Yep.
Any other discussion? All right, this is the 2.5% increase in the FY '24 budget. All those in favor signify by saying yes?
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, all 5-0.
All right, the yeses have it. Thank you, Commissioners.
The yeses have them.
Anything else for Mr. Quimby while he's here, Public Works?
Do you have, I mean, I've read the email that circulated today. Can you put together, and maybe this will help Patrick out with what he may be thinking about, is some kind of a projection based on where we're at in terms of O&M? With more, obviously, Southern Kent Island coming online and things like that, there's going to be, I know you're going to get taxed more, obviously, in terms of, stuff's going to start breaking.
Yes.
You can't stay new forever, so maybe a 3 or 4 year look ahead, just
Do that?
so we got something to look at.
And we're currently in those step systems down there pumping out the effluent, but you still have to go in and get the solids. And
Yeah, we're going to.
We have some projections there,
Hard
or-
this summer. This summer, we're going to start doing it.
Gotcha.
We have another issue, I mean, you're talking about that, water conditioners messing up the systems. So we'll have to talk about that too, but I'm going to gain some more evidence before I come before
Oh,
you.
really?
Because it kills the anaerobic side of the,
Yeah, just all the slime just goes through, and you don't have a clear zone of water like you need. So that's on the horizon, but I want to do some more tanks.
is it certain, are you finding out it's certain softeners that are used, or no? I mean,
Well, the typical salt, it's the salt brine, it's the brine, and the potassium magnet, I don't think would do it. RO wouldn't do it.
right.
But it's
Yeah.
the ones that are
So-
prevalent, the ion exchange ones.
So any change is going to have to come over a period of time by X number of dates. You're going to have to have changed out of the salt mechanism and go to something else.
No, you're gonna have to divert your brine someplace else other than into the sewer.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think they need water conditioners down there, but, and the ion exchange are the most cost effective, so I understand all that, but it's not gonna be cost effective for them if the sewer starts tearing up.
And you're talking about when they backwash them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not normal daily usage, it's just when you backwash it.
Yeah, that brine.
Yeah, see, mine goes into my sump pit and then goes out. So
Fine with me.
it doesn't hit my septic. Well, I got a septic, so I had read about that you don't
Well, you know, and
dump it in your septic.
a lot of
'cause-
states, including Delaware, prohibit water conditioner into your septics. But there's a lot, I've done a lot of research on it, and it comes down pretty much 60-40, 60% say it's bad, 40% say it's not bad, and some even say it helps, which I don't buy that one at all, but it is kind of curious that most of the ones that say it's not too bad are sponsored by water conditioner manufacturers.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
I don't feel I had enough evidence to come before you yet, but then you pushed me in that direction.
Okay. Well,
Very
that'll
good.
be interesting.
What about?
Well, we could start planning now. Wherever we run sewer, we run water. and then you don't have to worry about the conditioners. Right? Yeah. That's one way to do it, so.
Alan,
Very
thank you.
good. Thank you. Thank you.
Alan, the email that I sent you, I appreciate you getting back to me so quickly about the painting.
We don't think the stop bar needs to be painted,
You're probably right.
but the lines could be freshened up.
Yeah, and not the whole road, just the last few hundred yards.
Well, we'll look at it.
Just so that they can see where the edge is in the middle, so
We'll take a look at
I
it.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. All right, Commissioners, we can move into the action items. We have several of those. Tab 3. Tab 3, first item, item 1, page 1 is Proclamation 2321, Character Counts, Pillar of the Month, which is caring.
It's your turn.
My turn?
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta hit this link.
There's no tab that goes here.
Very efficient.
See that? Press the link and it just shows up, Jack. It's not that hard.
He downloaded it real quick.
All right. Proclamation 23-21. Whereas Queen Anne's County has declared a character counts community, and Queen Anne's County Abuse Response and Evaluation, CARE, Center supports and participates in this initiative. Whereas all citizens have been called upon to embrace the 6 building blocks of character and incorporate them in their daily activities and to model these traits of good character. And whereas the Character Counts Pillar of the Month in May is caring. Whereas all citizens will incorporate this value in their daily lives by displaying care and concern for others in everyday life. And whereas all citizens will be kind and considerate and find a way to help others. And whereas all citizens will show concern for others' well-being and act compassionately and with empathy. And whereas Care Center provides comprehensive, coordinated, and compassionate services to victims of child abuse. And whereas the Care Center is child-centered and focuses on the well-being of child victims throughout the life of a case. And whereas we will remember good, better, best, never let it rest until your good is your better and your better is your best.
Dr. Seuss.
And our character, because character counts, and we are a character counts community. Therefore, the Queen Anne's County Commissioners declare that Character Counts Pillar of the Month is caring. Signed by all the commissioners.
There we go.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, our next action item, item number 2, on pages 2 and 3. This is a capital request for a vehicle for community services. The Department of Community Services is requesting to purchase a replacement vehicle for a county truck that was in an accident back in August of 2022. The good news is insurance proceeds cover the majority of the cost of this truck, and the truck is essential for their use in the housing and aging divisions to provide home visits as well as moving assistance for the homeless and long-term support for their various clientele. So they did find a vehicle at the Preston Autoplex in Hurlock for $37,409, a 2023 F-150 XL.
I move to purchase a 2023 Ford F-150 XL from Preston Autoplex in Hurlock, Maryland, for the approved purchase of $37,409.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those of,
I'm all for this. I hope at some point we can start looking at 1- and 2-year-old vehicles instead of getting, you know, the newest model with 0 miles on it. We could probably save 10 to 20% if we looked at a year or 2 old. And I'm not saying for this one, I'm just saying in general, whether it's Parks and Rec or DPW, that's all.
okay. All right, well, the motion is to purchase the 2023 Ford F-150 XL from Preston Autoplex in Hurlock, Maryland for the approved purchase price of $37,409. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Item 3 on page 4 is a request for a letter of support for Churchill Theater's grant application to the Maryland Historical Trust. Churchill Theater is applying for a grant to repair the facade in the front of the building there in Churchill. As we all know, it's a historic Art Deco style building, and that's one of the defining features of its attractiveness there, and they're requesting support, and they're looking for a grant in the amount of $17,000 for that project.
I move to execute the grant letter of support for Churchill Theater Incorporated for final assistance for repairs to the building.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved.
All right, thank you, Commissioners. Our last item is the desk item 1. This is Budget Amendment CC 50 for the fire impact fees, and this particular amendment establishes additional budget authority to distribute the fire impact fees this year. The fire impact fees were collected over the course of fiscal year 22, and when we complete the audit, we can release those funds. We underestimated the amount by a bit. We have budget authority currently for $357,000. However, we collected $540,819 in fire impact fees. So we need this budget amendment too.
Motion to approve budget amendment CC 50, no county funds, additional funds are requested.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Commissioners, that's all our items for this evening. We can move into press and public comments, part 2. If
There's nobody here. Is there anybody, message, emails, nothing? We're skipping right over that. We're going to the round table. The table is round. And Patrick, we'll let you go first. You didn't have any proclamations to read, so you get to be first up.
Well, I'd rather have you share what happened Friday. You've been in the fight a lot longer than me.
It's not a fight. It's a process.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, then, so you don't have anything you want to?
Well, I would like to say, Wayne, who, the gentleman?
The Public Works, DPW?
Warren, I'm sorry.
Oh, Warren Wright. I'm sorry.
Warren Wright.
Dr. Ciatola, Katie Dilly, Commissioner Moran, and County Administrator Motorcycle Dude have been in this fight a long time, and Commissioner will share with you what I'm talking about. And I appreciate your leadership in this.
No worries. Yep. Okay.
Nothing. I'm yielding my time to you. Build
Jack?
it up.
Nothing? Phil?
You're not getting off that easy, Joe.
My man.
No, I actually had an opportunity to work with Plastic Free Queen Anne's County and Beth. We met with a couple TV networks and taped a couple pieces on the shrink wrap, and when the shrink wrap comes off the boats, and where does it go? And if it wasn't for these programs and the folks over at Plastic Free Queen Anne's County pushing for this program, I want to thank my fellow commissioners for their financial support in this program to purchase the bags. If you haven't seen the news releases, I'm sure that Beth can get them to you, or you have. Any compliments on my tie, or no comments on my tie?
There's very little room for improvement anywhere in there, Phil, so you're
But anyway, I wanted to thank Beth for working with Plastic Free Queen Anne's County and coordinating that event and the networks. Once again, Beth, great job. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about the conversation I need to have with Todd Mon to get you some help.
Damn. You didn't just do that, did you?
I just did that.
Yes, you did.
Threw him under the bus.
Woo! All right. Okay, so what Patrick is referring to is Patrick, myself, Todd, Warren Wright, anybody and everybody that has a stake in addictions, mental health, social issues, was at a meeting at Kent County at their commissioner's room to talk about the Whitsitt Center and what's going to happen with it. And the Whitsitt Center is a facility that's run by the state, built by the state, that's in Kent County, that is there for drug addiction and other things, but they have an entire wing that's not utilized. And there's been a big push to get beds for adolescents with, for mental issues and for drug issues, addiction issues. And the meeting was attended by the Undersecretary of Health And this same individual was there a month ago, 6 weeks ago?
And the chief of staff.
Yeah, and chief of staff were there, but the previous meeting, they took the building, which was under Governor Hogan, was going to go to divestiture, meaning they were going to sell it or give it away, and under Governor Moore, they pulled that back. So at that meeting 6 or 7 weeks ago, they made the announcement that they were taking it off their divestiture list, and they were going to, look into what they can do to help with some of the problems in the Midshore area. So at this meeting, the same individual comes in and says that Governor Moore has put $4 million in this budget to replace really, I think it's just for the air conditioning, which is extremely old there, but it's a start at renovating the building. And we had an in-depth presentation from Katie Dilley, right? And we need to still get a copy of that now that I remember
We will,
that.
and Katie will be here later this month.
Okay,
for her
good, so
update
that everybody
with
can
the
see
board.
these statistics. I mean, they broke it down 3 ways to Sunday, and it was very informative. So with that information and with some, with the health department and other individuals involved, I think that they can sit down at a table now and say, here's what we need. We need 20 beds for adolescent use, for mental disorders. We need this many beds for addiction, and move forward to, identifying what we need, the Midshore, and then identifying how much we can get the state. And really, what we're looking at, and Ron Fithy and I had a discussion, is what we do at the college. We get the state to renovate it, bring it up to speed, and then, insurance pays a portion of it. And as it grows and gets more use, insurance pays for a portion of it. The state pays for the lion's share of it. And then the counties, as how many patients come from each county, could possibly be one of the funding sources of it. So it's a process. We know it takes a while to get through all this. I mean, we had a discussion earlier today about a couple projects in the county, and now the average is from when you say, hey, let's do this, to when we build a major project, 5 years.
So let me ask you a question, Jim. How do we not have the statistics already? This isn't like a new issue. This isn't.
No, we do have it, but
I'm saying we're going to do a study. We do studies all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Studies.
Yeah.
We should have all that. I mean, all those metrics are here. We should have all that information. Why are we wasting time on a study? Let's take the information we have and move forward, because that speaks to your 5 years. Because we study, and then we study the study, and then we got to take the study and have somebody else study the results.
You're right. I don't think he said to do a study. What he said was come up with a plan.
Well, no, he said they're going to look at the figures. My thing is the figures are there.
Agreed.
You know how many beds you need for adolescent at this point.
Agreed.
You should know all that information.
So just today, we're looking at probably June 8th to have another strategy meeting in Kent County. And what we have to do, according to the state, is come up with a plan and give them the plan. And then we talk about the plan.
The business plan. We're talking about the business
I
plan.
got you,
Yeah,
Jim, but you hit the nail on the head with your last comment. It's
Oh, I understand it, but I mean.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, there's some people that might not agree with some of those numbers. There might be some that would say, well, if we do this, we don't need to do that. And, Jack, it gives me a headache, so.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about something that we consider a crisis.
Yeah.
And yet we put a timeline of 5 years on it.
No, we're not putting a timeline on that. I'm just saying, when we were talking about, people say, why can't we
Bring it
just
to
do it?
fruition, I'm talking
Yeah,
about. So
right.
again,
Yeah.
you're 5 years in what we're considering a crisis.
You're right.
Well,
John.
I think we'll probably be less than, probably 18 months.
I mean, luckily we have the building there and it's a renovation, not a rebuild.
Right.
So the $4 million is in this budget.
Correct.
So it's going to be spent this year. Well,
No, because you're going to have engineering time, it's your next year. And right now, quite frankly, you're not going to get the equipment probably for 12 to 14 months. So.
There you go.
I know, I mean, there's a reality there,
Yeah.
I get it, but it's.
But again, while that's being done, moving forward, hopefully on the business model of how they want to run this, because everything's changed from when it was built to what we're looking at now. It's a whole different matrix, and there are some successful businesses in the Mid-Atlantic region, and I honestly think that it would, for instance, Patrick had I can't remember that company that's up in Hagerstown or wherever it was.
Brookline.
Yeah, Brookline, to come in and sit down and then maybe, I don't know, do some talking with us and what they feel is when they look at those numbers, how they would structure it since they've had a successful business.
So will this be third-party run like the college is, or?
That's a good question. We don't know. I mean, worst case scenario, or not the best case scenario, is the state runs it. And it's because it's their building, it's, if they want to work on this, I mean, the state has the deepest pockets.
But you know my fear there.
Yeah.
I mean, the state pulls the rug out 5 years in because they can't afford it anymore.
Right.
And that's sort of
Exactly.
my fear there, so.
So to that point, fix it up, the state, in my mind's eye, would give it to the Upper Shore, Mid-Shore Regional Councils. Then they would hire,
A third-party
a
manager.
Shepherd Pratt to run it, but the state supports it. And as you were saying, insurance.
But
Medicaid.
that's actually one of the hardest ways to do it.
I understand, but to Jack's point, the next administration isn't going to cut the budget because they
Well, that's
won't
true.
have control over it.
Right.
And the reason it's vacant now is specifically what he just said. Some guy in the state said, we don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way to keep it open is for the local control. Not only that,
If they
but
can afford it.
Yeah, because you're still
Well,
looking
but
at
the
the college model's a 5-county model.
Right.
So then you've got to figure out what that looks like, because obviously each county pays more percentage based on usage, so.
We're a small percentage of the entire budget number for the college.
No, I get that, because
You
you
know
got
what I mean?
tuition.
And what I'm
we're
worried
like
about is.
2 million.
Excuse me?
I think we're 2 million.
Yeah, 2 million with their entire budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what is their entire, you know what their entire budget, John, is?
Not offhand, but I'll get that for you.
But to your point, though, it is, a Shepherd Pratt or a Brook Lane or a whatever, they are capable of financially breaking even. They don't have to, it might, first 1 or 2 years, yes, they're gonna lean on us. But once they get billing and they get, they've got,
When we have
they know how to
fundraising,
do
they have
this. They've been
fundraising
doing
events,
it for 80
galas.
years.
I mean, there's.
They know how to make a profit, not much of one, but they know how to keep the doors open. And that's what we need, because the state doesn't. No disrespect to the state, but I've been in every state hospital in the state. We don't want the state running this. We really don't. We want a
Well,
private
that's where somebody has to
enterprise.
come with a plan, and they got to attach a dollar amount to it, because, and hate to say it, but in the world we live in, the budget matters. Because we got to be able to afford it, and what I'm worried about is when you go to 5 counties, and everybody initially kicks in that first year, that second year, but the first thing they cut, when they get in the crunch, is this, and then either the place closes or everybody else has to pick up that.
Slack.
Yeah, and you just got to be careful with those things, and I'm not the smartest or the sharpest knife in the drawer when it comes to that, so, that's what we have staff for.
Well, if they're allowed to build Medicaid, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, United Healthcare, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Okay, I'm not, like I said, it's just a process, and you gotta go down each one of those alleys and see what's waiting for you and what you need to do and not do, so. Anyways.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
There we go.
You're not going to give a bridge update? You know what, I don't want to poke.
Well, we really don't have an update right now. I mean, it's,
I don't know, I've been sitting on it daily with those, what are they doing? Checking the structure, do you know?
oh, yeah.
Every day?
Yeah. And the next
just
meeting, we'll
curious.
make sure that comes to a stop, because they can't be doing that in the
Midday.
summer months.
That's, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's backing up 3 or 4 miles just while they're doing that with one lane closed, because a lot of people aren't jumping off. So that's the other thing. So I'm driving up there the other day. I've got to start carrying, I got to get a GoPro and put it on the front of my car, because
they're
here's a
flying by
guy
the
with
X's.
those new big X's, right? I mean, you can't miss them. Blind person would miss those X's. Here's a guy driving straight down the lane with the X's on. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? So I pulled him next to him, so I see, is he on the phone or not? Not on the phone or anything,
Trying to get
just
ahead.
ignoring him, just going
Oh, they
straight
ignore
up.
them all the time.
I'm like,
And that's why that trying to get that bill in to keep the trucks with pulling a boat or pulling an RV out of the contraflow along with the tractor trailers.
Right.
But the same thing with cameras. They gotta have cameras up there. They gotta have cameras up there, and the only way people stop doing it is when they get tickets.
right.
And that could be a hell of a revenue if always people riding down that red X sign.
Well, I
And-
think about our bikers are in here and they're talking about people aren't aware of when they're driving at all. It's a prime example. I mean, it is a big X. It's not like the old ones.
Yeah, and it's,
And they start them so much further back now, which is
Well, you
also
get the yellow-
because
you
by
get the
then,
yellow.
everybody should be funneled into their lanes. You got a long way to get everybody in the lanes, except for that one clown that runs right up the middle.
I will say that they are, you know, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, there's 3 different models that they're looking at for red lights in Anne Arundel County going eastbound on the side roads.
For, Bush's frontage road and all down that way?
Yeah, to control those people that want to get on the side road and
Right.
cut in, you know, and that, while that makes the queue back up further on 50, it makes the queue run.
Right, because the tractor trailers aren't constantly stopping.
Right,
'Cause then
exactly.
when they
So-
stop-
So they might be doing 25 miles an hour versus, you know, stop and goes, and, but, you know, that's another thing that's coming, so we'll see.
Are you still entertaining a motion?
Yes. I will second. Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, there you go. Thanks, Bill.
Sorry, Jim.
No worries,
So,
brother.
you know-